Lesson number 2, don't be an annoying classmate. I know it's really hard learning online and not, behaving as if you're in a chat room because it looks like one. But I wanted to talk about a couple things. So as you're, at your work desk, which we talked about last time, at your space, wherever it is, where you can pay attention, you might, be eating a bag of chips and making a lot of noise that's annoying and sprinkling the chips, just to do an example. Other people can hear you and they're trying to listen to the person who's speaking. And so it's really distracting. It also makes it impossible to hear. So if you happen to be eating during this time, then there's something that you can do. You can mute yourself. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So I'm sharing my screen now. Okay. This is what it looks like when you're on the call. Yours should look the same. This little button here is turn off microphone. So you can do that. It will mute you. I'll do it first. Okay, there we go. You can mute and unmute yourself whenever you want. So if you're eating, if you're making some noise in the background, like if your brother or sister is making a lot of noise or your dog's barking, that's happened to me, you can mute yourself and then keep listening. But the next time you want to speak up in the presentation or ask a question, you need to unmute yourself so that you can ask your question and they will still hear you. Similarly, you can turn your camera on and off. So not everyone needs to see you. It's cool to see your friends there online, but again, if you have something really distracting going on behind you, you want to keep that in mind. And if you do need to turn off your camera, you can do that with the button here. You just turn off the camera, and then you can turn it back on whenever you want. Yeah. Last thing that I want to mention, there is a chat box. If you haven't found it, it's this little thing that looks like a chat box up here. So this is a great spot to ask your questions without interrupting the person speaking. I kind of wish this was a thing in a lot of classrooms in person. Like if someone's speaking and you want them to repeat it, you can ask a question, you can make requests there, and they'll see that on the sidebar. That is not a spot to chat with your friends. Like, I know how tempting it is, but it's not a spot for social hour because it's kind of, disrespectful to the person who's speaking. It's also really distracting and it gets in the way of questions that will be there. So you kind of have to pretend that you're, an adult in a conference meeting. And how would that person behave? You kind of want to go back to that. So you can always, you can be friendly and talk in the chat room, if it's a discussion, that's definitely fine, but you also want to pay attention to what you're asking. So don't put inappropriate stuff on there. Like you can imagine a third grader just like saying words that are inappropriate, and hopefully you won't be doing that. So I just wanted to go over those few things on being a good participant in a chat. So good luck. I'm gonna stop presenting and see you guys. Bye.